On this week's show, 5 top tips for beginners getting into property investment.
In the news, we're going to be discussing if Facebook are about to jump on the property investing market.
And we'll be answering all your questions. Welcome to the Property Investors Podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an upload. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Enjoy this week's show and don't forget to share it with all your friends. Hi, I'm Russell Leeds.
I'm Alistair Cunningham.
And welcome to the Property Investors Podcast. You feeling cold today?
Yeah, I'm a little bit cold in the room
chilly.
today. Bit chilly.
A little bit of a chill.
Yeah, just a little bit. A little bit.
Have you
You're
been this
obviously
week?
warm because you've taken yours off.
I'm boiling, man. I'm like.
So what have you been up to, man? I ain't seen you for a few days.
It's been no, I haven't.
You had the
It's
winner.
been
You had
amazing.
it's been amazing.
It's just been incredible.
Cheers,
I've had the best couple of days of my entire life.
I'm only kidding. So you had your
I
sales
thought it was
training
gonna
day
get
last week, didn't you?
I did. It's very good.
What did you think of that? It was good.
Amazing.
I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, man.
Loved it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It.
I didn't actually realise you were that good at sales.
You've met me though. Surely you know.
Yeah, I didn't think you thought about it that much. I thought it was just off the cuff, but I didn't realise it was such a system that you got in place.
Nothing is off the cuff.
Yeah, I know.
Apart from
Off the cuff.
oh, well.
No, but it was really interesting.
That comment clearly.
we learnt all about the winner's sales system. It was really good.
It is good, isn't it?
It's very good.
It actually is very, very good. I'm thinking of writing a book about it, but I need to finish my other book first.
Yeah. Once I'll finish reading that at some point, and I'll let you know.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
I'll read it this weekend.
Did you promise?
I promise. I will read it this
So
weekend.
by
And
the
we can
next
talk about it
show-
in the next show.
You'll have finished it.
I'm not going to say I've finished it, but I'll definitely be reading it.
But you've got before.
I'm already a little bit. Yeah, fine. All right, I'll read it. Can you send it to me again? Cause I think I deleted it. I didn't. It's on my computer. It's
Right.
fine.
Okay. I'm not used to this. Him being horrible to me. That's wrong, isn't it?
I think that's a better way.
I think it's the wrong way around. It feels wrong. Doesn't feel right. This is weird.
Should we switch seats?
We should. This should be the nasty seat. Whoever sits in this seat can be nasty. So you stay where you are.
Yeah.
Right. First off, this week's show: 5 top tips to for beginners getting into property. So
Very useful.
it is very useful.
We get so many. There's a lot of our listeners are looking to get into property. So
It is very useful. So, Samuel talked about this very, very briefly on a video earlier this week. So we're going to go into a little bit more detail on it. But number 1 is realistic goals.
Yeah, realistic goals and expectations.
Interesting one. I was running a program with our academy members recently.
Yes.
And this goal setting wasn't part of the program. But I talked a bit about goals, and I was my point was because I asked someone a question. I sort of said. I told them to go and set goals for what they were going to do, and someone stood up and they said they were going to do. I can't remember what it was now, but they were going to send 300 lease option letters. They were going to do this.
Yeah.
It was massive stuff in the next 30 days. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. What are you going to do in the 30 days after that? And they were like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, are you going to be able to do the same? And they were, well, not to that level, no. And I was like, then why are you doing it that level this month?
Yeah.
And they were like, well, because I want to get I told them a bit about a book called The Slight Edge. If you've seen The Slight Edge, or The Compound Effects, similar book. And basically, what I think they should be doing is setting goals they can do every month.
Yeah, realistic.
It doesn't have to be this massive action. I said, so for example, who's better off? The guy that goes to the gym twice a week for 5 years, or the guy that goes every day for 2 weeks and then gives up?
Yeah, obviously the first one.
Yeah. So it's you want to be able to set yourself goals that you can actually achieve. And I was,
that's actually, you made a very good point there about who's better, like with the gym analogy, right? I see this a lot in property. People get in property, they say they'll say, for instance, this person, they'll send 300 letters and then that's it, they won't do anything else.
Yeah.
But because they don't get results from the 300 letters, they just say it doesn't work.
Yeah.
They need consistency.
Yeah.
So realistically would be to send maybe 50 a month, every month.
And the other thing is,
fail.
when you feel like you're putting in masses of effort and don't get a return, it's
hard.
really demotivating.
Yeah.
But if you just think, and I said this to them as well, when you set your goals, you want to have a picture of where you want to be, but the only thing you can control is the actions.
Yeah.
So the actions are the stuff you want to be tracking,
Yeah.
and then you just trust that the results will follow. So your actions might be, so your goal shouldn't be, I want to get 4 lease option agreements. No. That might be your goal, but what you want to be thinking about is what actions am I going to take in order to achieve that goal? Because if you've just got a goal, I want to get 4 lease option agreements, that doesn't mean anything. It's meaningless.
Yeah. It comes down to, like, I'm not going to criticize this, but like people that have dream boards and things like that, they have all these dream boards, which is great. There's nothing wrong with dream boards, but you've got to put in action to get to that dream board.
You need both.
It cannot just be you look at a dream board every day of a car you want or a house you want. You've got to have realistic goals of how you're going to get there.
Having said that, I agree. Having said that, I do think that things like dream boards and stuff can be very powerful.
Yeah.
Because at the same, I don't want to go too deep now on goal setting and stuff like that. But if you so Jim Carrey, for example, when he wanted to become an actor, he did like in his wallet, he used to carry around a piece of paper, and he set out what his goals were, his dreams. I want to be this, I want to be that. And he used to go to the Hollywood Hills, look at Hollywood, and he used to read it, and he used to believe that was going to happen. It was kind of like his dream board. There's no point having a dream board if all it is a dream. Yeah. But if you select what you want to happen and you believe that that's going to happen, and you're right, you need the actions in place as well. But I do think in a belief in something is very, very powerful. And if you think it's going to happen,
you've got to believe before it'll happen, won't you? You've got to believe that whatever you're doing is going to work. If you don't believe it, then it's not going to work. It's simple as.
Your thoughts are unbelievably powerful. Yeah, scientifically proven. It's not like mind over matter, but no.
I agree with you completely.
Unbelievably powerful.
Believe me, when you focus on negativity things, it doesn't make sense. When you focus on negative things and it's not going to work, you're right. It doesn't matter how you think about it. You're right either way. Yeah. If you believe it's going to work, it's going to work. If you believe it's not going to work, again, you're right. Henry Ford said that.
Did you know optimists live a lot longer than pessimists?
Do they really?
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder why. Because they believe they're going to live longer, perhaps.
It's true.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Interesting.
When we could talk about this all. I could talk about this all day.
You talk about your goal setting in your book.
I probably, this is the problem with my book. This is the problem with my book, is that when I'm learning so much. I'm not learning so much, but I'm tweaking. I am learning so much, continually reading, studying, learning, and then I'll go back to something I wrote 6 months ago, and I'll be like, that's good, but I want to add to it, and I continually want to add to the book. I'll be like, okay, but what about this? What about that? So whatever I put on goal setting in the book, if I haven't looked at that for 6 months, I'd probably now, if I looked at it again, wouldn't change it. Probably all still stands, but I'd want to. Add to it.
Okay,
so
add to it in a little bit.
But you made me think now. I'm going to go back and I'm going to add to it because
But with regards to realistic goals, so
realistic actions.
Realistic actions as well. But goals.
They say a lot in the Slight Edge or Compound Effect. I get them confused because they're very similar. But like, it's easy to do. Yeah. It's also easy not to do.
Yeah.
But you want to make it easy to do. So, for example, if you wanted, it's easy to choose a healthy meal at a restaurant. Yeah. That's not a difficult decision. No. But it's also easy to order a burger.
Yeah, burger and chips.
But when you're there, if you just look at it as lots of little actions, that's all it is. It's just lots and lots and lots of little actions. But it's about discipline.
So what would you say are realistic goals for a beginner investor, to like somebody that's got maybe a little bit of money in the bank that are looking to get into property? What would you say is a realistic goal for them?
Well, the first thing that they need to work out before they look at their goals, and I probably do talk about this in the book, is the difference between your personal goals and your business goals.
Okay.
So the first thing, before you set your business goals, before you go, I want to get a lease option agreement, I want to do this, I want to do that. Why?
Yeah.
What do you actually want? Yeah. Do you want to work?
You've done this to me before.
I have.
And it's like...
And you hated it?
I hate it.
You did?
Yeah, but I get why you do it.
Yeah.
I absolutely get why you do it. Why do you want it? It's like, man, stop asking me bloody why.
Because a lot of people don't know. I want to get into property. Why? I want a passive income. Oh, that's amazing. Awesome, man. Why? Do you like your job? Yeah. Then why do you want to pay?
Yeah.
And it makes them think.
It does make them think.
What is it you actually want? I think they call it the rule of 7 or something.
Yeah,
7
yeah,
whys.
7 whys, yeah.
Why? Don't do it in a dickish way. What? Why? Why? Well, which is probably what I did to you.
Yeah,
but
you pretty much did.
yeah.
Like,
But
I was only asking for a coffee, and you were like, why?
I'm thirsty. Why? Why are you thirsty? But yeah, you want to keep asking why. You want to get to and you want to do this for yourself. You don't have to do it with someone else. But think about, okay, what is it that I want? What? I was talking to one of our members of staff about this the other day. I was like, what is it you want? I don't really know. Well, have a have a think about it. And then once you know what you want, then you go, okay, so I want my business to serve what I want.
Yeah.
So it might be that you want to work an hour a week and live by a lake and go fishing and live in this peaceful. That'd be what you want. I would hate that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want that. I'd find that bore. I wouldn't even want to do that for a week.
My brother would do that forever.
Well, there you go.
But I wouldn't. Yeah.
So you've got different
goals.
Different goals. So so therefore, which is why you should never try and tell someone what they should do.
No. Let them tell them. They should tell themselves.
They need to know what they want.
Okay, so a realistic goal for let's just say somebody that wants to get into property.
Yeah.
Is it realistic for them to say this time next year I'm going to be a millionaire?
From scratch now?
Yeah, say starting with 10 grand, 20 grand. Let's just say 10 grand. 10 grand in the bank.
Yeah.
Is it realistic for somebody to say this time next year I'm going to be a millionaire?
Well, why do they want to be a millionaire?
No, forget about that.
No, I'm not going to forget about it because that's it.
What's
their life? It's
right,
realistic
fine.
for them
Fine.
to
So
live a very nice lifestyle.
Yeah, but that's not what the question was. So say they've got their why.
It's possible.
Say they've got their why.
Yeah.
And they know what they're going to. They know why they want to do everything. Is it realistic for somebody who's getting in property at the minute with no knowledge, but they've got 15 grand in the bank by this time next year to be a millionaire from property?
It's possible, but I would say
it's possible, but is it realistic? It's unlikely. Yeah, exactly. But is it realistic for them to maybe get a couple of houses, have a really good understanding of property, and maybe have lots of friends within property? Yeah, that's very possible.
Yeah.
So where would you set your goal? So let's just take your average Joe, your average person. Where would you set your goal? Would you set it somewhere in the middle? Would you set it high end or low end?
Well, I'd be looking at two things. Number one would be time.
Yeah.
And number two would be money.
Yeah.
So A, how much time I have.
Yeah.
And B, how much money I have. Right.
So they've got, say, 2 days a week, and
so they might be saying, I want to work 2 days. In a year's time, I want to be working 2 days a week, and I want to be on 10 grand a month.
Yeah.
Is that realistic? Yeah,
yes,
I think that's realistic.
Very realistic because I've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100% realistic.
So that's very, and most people would probably be happy with that.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah, of course they would. Yeah.
And they'd be like, perfect. 2 days a week, 10 grand a month, amazing.
But what my point I'm trying to make is, it's better to set your goals a little bit higher than lower. Mm-hmm. I would rather
Well, here's interesting point. I was a guy called Blair Singer.
Yes.
Yeah. So he was talking about having goals.
Yeah.
And he climbs Kilimanjaro every year.
Wow.
And he says obviously the goal is to get to the top. Okay. Now the first time he went, he didn't manage it. Right. Because he went with his son. His son became really ill. Okay. And they had to go back.
Right.
So he made about halfway and then had to go back down. And he was saying, if all I was focusing on was the goal, which is getting to the top, I would have thought it was a total waste of money, total waste of time. It would have just been like, I'd have come down and felt really about it. Yeah. What a waste. Rubbish, right? And a lot of people have that in life where they have their goal, and if they don't hit the goal, it's like, what a waste. But what he was saying is, it's about the journey. Mm-hmm. And so there's a balance between having a goal and enjoying the journey.
Yeah.
And he said that
I agree with that.
because he focused on the journey, he still got a lot of lessons out of it. He still learned a lot. He still enjoyed the time with his son. And obviously it got cut short. He didn't make the goal, but it was still a great experience.
Thing is, do you think he'll hit that goal?
Which goal?
Getting to the top.
Oh, he's done it every year since.
Oh, has he?
About 8 times in a row.
Right. So I thought he was still on his path to get there.
No.
But he's
still there now. He's on his own. It's snowing.
No. But what I mean, you're such an idiot. What I mean is he still like? I thought he was going back every year to try and get further and further.
Oh, other than that, he's made it to the top every year.
Right. Okay, that's awesome.
That was the first time he went.
Oh, right.
But the point is that there's a balancing act between setting a high goal and striving for the goal, but at the same time enjoying the journey.
It's also not being afraid to miss that goal, because it's better to miss a high goal than hit a low goal.
Well, if you're prepared to enjoy the journey, it doesn't matter if you miss the goal.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you enjoy the
I think
progress.
what happens is some people focus too much on hitting that goal, and then they sacrifice other stuff.
Which is why this is the point about getting your personal goals. Because if you just say to yourself, I want to be... If you don't know what's important to you, then you might sacrifice certain stuff in order to hit your goal that you don't even know why you've set the goal.
Isn't this like the reason why you see so many people that have made it then become depressed and become sometimes like suicidal and things like that?
Well, a lot of people become depressed once they've made it because they've hit the goal. They've got nothing else to live for.
Nothing else to live for. Because they've sacrificed everything to get to that goal.
Tyson Fury.
Yes.
His goal... World champion. I want to become world champion. Became world champion, put on 10 stone, got depressed, on drugs, all sorts of stuff. In his prime. A lot of people think he's made it. Yeah, but that was the problem. Because his whole life was living for that. And he's done it now. What else is there?
Well, they say that's like astronauts are the same. Their goal is to get to space, and then they come back from space. They've done nothing else.
That's why you got to respect someone like Cristiano Ronaldo.
Okay, why?
Because he's 34 years old.
Right.
He's won everything.
Okay.
And he's still striving.
But he's got lots of personal goals as well. He's got lots of stuff going on. So he's a massive charity guy. He does a lot of charity work, doesn't he? Lots of charity work. And doesn't all get
But anyone
publicised.
like that, that's top of their game and continue. Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
He's won the world championship, but he still wants more and more. And assuming that, as long as they're enjoying it as well as they go, which I believe certainly like Ronaldo is, for example, as long as he's enjoying it as he goes, that's perfect. Because you want to get the right balance between wanting more, but being satisfied with what you've got.
I think you've got to enjoy what you do, though, as well. If you don't enjoy what you do, it becomes a job. It becomes hard work. Like, I know you love what you do. I love what I do. So to me, working on my goals is fun. It's enjoyable. I love it.
It's my favourite thing to do.
Same as.
It's my favourite thing. And a part of that, then, comes to having a mission.
Yeah.
It's got to be something that's bigger than just you.
Yeah.
If you're on a mission and it's bigger than just you, that's where the magic happens.
Yeah.
Anyway,
right, number 2.
Goals. Number 2 is...
Tell the world.
Yeah, tell the world.
I know you couldn't read my messy handwriting.
I was like,
tell the world. Tell the world. So you've got to tell people what you're doing.
Yeah.
There's too many. I'm guilty of this, so I'm not going to preach about this because I didn't tell the world what I was doing. I was Samuel's closet investor. Do you know what I mean? So hiding.
Have you finally come out the closet?
I've come out of the closet with regards to investing.
What? Did you say?
Right. Anyway,
it's a reasonable question.
It is a reasonable question, but it's an innuendo which comes at the end of it. Anyway, right.
Innuendo.
So you. Right. So you've got to tell the world. You've got to tell people what you're up to, because it opens the doors to all sorts. It opens the doors.
So here's a question: why do people not do that?
Because they're embarrassed.
Why are they embarrassed?
Because they're going to get hated upon. It's happened to me, man. Look, I started telling everyone what I do. I started publicising what I do. I started putting it out there. Started telling people on Facebook, doing videos, all that sort of stuff. And then you get the odd douchebag that comes along and says, haha, look at you. And I'm like, haha, look at you, you're broke. Do you know what I mean? I don't care about them. Forget the haters. Forget the people that are going to pull you down, because they're only trying to pull you down.
What about if the people that pull you down are your family and all that sort of stuff? How do you take that?
Then we've spoke about this before on this show as well. They're probably doing it unintentionally because they don't know any different. So, and I would say if you're getting sort of not hate, but if you're getting criticism from family members, it's probably they feel they're probably doing it from a good place. Like, oh, it's risky, you're taking too many risks and all that stuff. They probably feel they're giving you advice, like we don't want you to lose money or all that sort of stuff. I would say if it's coming from family, it's not generally going to be from a point of view where they're actually just like trying to belittle you and steal your dreams.
It's because they can't relate to you.
Yeah, they can't relate because you've changed quicker than them. But you'll see, I've seen this with my friends where I've gone on and started doing really well, but they haven't. And then I've changed. I've become a much nicer person. I've become a bigger person. Not weight-wise, but I've become a bigger person. I was waiting for the comment, but
I'm not in a jokey mood. Although you opened it up, I was like, I'm not going to take the bait.
Right, I've become bigger up here. I've become bigger in here because of my journey. my friends, whatever, they haven't. They're still going to the pub. They're still at the same job they've been in for 5 years. They're never going to change. But because I am changing, they don't like that. And you get people talking about you. You know what? I don't care. I don't give them monkeys, because do you know what? It's not their dream. It's my dream. So you got to tell the world what you're up to. When I told the world what I was doing,
you don't care, but you did care to begin with.
I did. I hated it.
How have you got?
I hated it.
How have you got through that? Why do you not care now? Because it's never nice to be.
It's not nice to be hated upon, and I don't get it as much as some people. But you get people criticizing you. But you know what? I don't care, because like when you're making the sort of money I'm making, it makes it very easy not to care about what they're hating upon.
So do you not? If someone criticizes you, you genuinely are you making a decision that you don't care, or do you genuinely not care?
No, I'm making a decision I don't care. So yes, sometimes when you see when you hear, like, especially people that you trusted, it's when you have people that you trust and that you thought actually they wouldn't say that, and then you hear things. It's like, do you know what? Listen, you've got problems. You're fighting your own battles. I'm not going to judge you. Just don't judge me. So when I listen, this is so true. I do talk about this in my book, right? When you accept what you're doing and you tell the world what you're doing, it is amazing what happens. Things change, and yes, you might lose some friends, but you'll get a load of new friends. Like I've now got friends. I'm now like me and Russell are like very good friends. Me and Simon are very good friends. So, like, the friends that are criticising you, the family that are criticising you, do you know what? There's plenty of people out there that will push you along and support you and help.
I think one of the reasons as well, I agree with everything you're saying. I think one of the reasons as well is that people, because especially if they're new to it, they feel like a bit of a fraud.
Yeah.
Saying, oh, I'm a property investor, and they're like, oh. Samuel tells the story of when at the crash course, and he decides to give up his job to be a property investor, and our older cousin, who's about 7 years older than Samuel, was like, "Oh, I hear you quit your job." And Samuel was like, "Yeah." So Samuel was 17 at the time, to become a property investor. And Samuel's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "So, how many properties do you own?" And Samuel's like, "None." And he's like, I felt like, this.
Well, you would.
Big.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
because
are scared. Or like people are going to be like, who do you think you are saying your property? Especially people that know you, like your family and stuff like that. If you have not done that before, and then you're saying like, I'm a property investor, like who the hell do you think you are? But all this sorts of stuff. So people are scared.
The problem is the sort of people that will say that to you are the sort of people that will be happy working 40 hours a week for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
They're not the sort of entrepreneurial type of mindset. They're coming from a position of a freaking job. Now, I'm not criticising people that have a job. I'm not criticising them. But don't steal the dreams of people that want to do better than that. Because at the end of the day, if you're in a job, I don't care what job you're in, you're not making yourself rich. You're making your boss rich. I don't care what job you're in. I don't care what you do.
I don't totally agree with that. No. I don't totally agree with that. Footballers are in a job. It comes back to goals.
Yeah.
If you love what you do and you work 40 hours a week and you work for someone and that.
No, but realistically, think about it.
But you might not want to be an entrepreneur.
That's fine. But I think if you're in a job, you have to understand that you're making somebody else rich. It doesn't matter what job you're in, you're making somebody else rich.
Not necessarily.
Unless you're a doctor, I suppose. Actually, that's a bit of a wrong statement. So unless you're like in a...
But even if you work in a business, I know loads of small businesses where the staff get paid more than the owners do. I don't agree.
Okay.
I don't agree with that.
We'll cut that bit out.
No, don't.
I'm really joking.
I don't agree. I know what you mean, and with a lot of companies that's the case. But I think this is an issue I have really, especially as someone employed. I employ lots of people. Yeah. I don't see them as just like people often look, especially entrepreneurs and people, they look down on employees and they're like, I just need. No, they're not.
Never.
They're doing what they want to do, what they think's right. They might. There's a lot of crap that comes with a lot of stresses.
Oh no, I know there is. I've been through a lot of it.
I know you have. But my point is that that might be what they want. They might want to be.
Yeah, of course, not everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, but my point being
Most people don't.
Don't steal the dreams of people that do want to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, but don't steal the dreams of someone that wants to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Or don't steal the dreams
not at all. Of course,
wants to be a nurse. Or don't steal the dreams of someone that wants to be in the army or anything. You know, people have got to work out what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I don't think we should be poo-pooing employees.
I'm not poo-pooing employees.
I know
I'm not saying that.
I know you're not. But do you understand my point?
Is, what I'm saying is the people that generally.
It's not just you, by the way. A lot of people.
Let me tell you. Let me ask you something.
It just knocks me.
Can you imagine Richard Branson ever hating on anybody? Okay, so people won't tell the world because they're scared to get negative comments and criticism. Do you know any successful business person that gives any criticism or hate or negativity to anyone else trying to do business?
Alan Sugar.
Really?
You've not seen The Apprentice. He's a right douche.
No, but does he criticize other businesses that are doing well? Does he criticize other people's business? He might criticize the people that are on The Apprentice.
I like The Apprentice, by the way.
So do I. I love it.
I don't think he's a dirty douche, but he can be.
My point being is, Samuel mentions this. You never get hate from people above you. And I'm not saying employees or people that are working on below you, but it's always people that are trying to bring you back down to their level because they've not stepped out. And it's true. You look on any of the negative comments that we see online. If you start looking into the people that are doing it, they're working in a job or they've not got an entrepreneurial mind. Because if you had an entrepreneurial mind, you wouldn't be hating on people.
I think the
You'd
key
be pushing people along.
I think the key
and helping them
is that you just encourage other people in whatever they want to do.
Be nice to
and
everybody.
Don't try and drag other people down.
One thing that bugs me, and we've had it with the podcast, people hating upon the podcast. Why do you go out your way to hate upon something? Like, what sort of negative life do you live that you have to hate upon something? How crap is your life that you have to moan about other people? Get a grip, man.
Yeah. A lot of people waste a lot of time. But yeah.
They've got too much time in their hands.
Right, number 3. Friends.
Yep.
Big one. A lot of people know this. The 5 people that you spend the most time with end up being like the net result of those people.
So if you spend your time with 5 rich people, you'll be the 6. If you spend your time with 5 negative people, you'll be the 6.
Yeah. And it's about environment.
I think so.
And about context.
Can I just
go.
say here, right?
Go.
One thing that I found with the academy program, is forget the investment. Take the investment away from it. It is the doors it opens and the people you get introduced to. And it's the people you're socializing with. Because you socialize with successful people of the same mindset that are there to say, come on, man, let's get along. Let's see what we can do to help you. And this goes back to our previous subject when you told people it's not getting pulled back by people.
Yeah, I said that to the Academy members last week.
Yeah.
Exactly what you just said. And I said, look, I encourage you guys to... I know you're doing it already, but do it more. Yeah. Meet once a week. Go. They arranged a little dinner on the night, and I was like, "That's brilliant." Who was it who did that? You give her a hand. That's amazing. You know, that's the sort of stuff you guys should be doing because how many of you are surrounded by negativity? You know,
Everyone is.
Your environment is so key because the thing is, you got 5% of your brain. Or 10% of your brain, and a small amount is conscious. The rest of it is all your subconscious and how you do. And your
you're going to say unconscious.
Yours is.
Sorry.
When you're in Vegas.
Yeah.
No, the rest of it is all your subconscious brain. Yeah. And your subconscious is so affected by your environment. And so affected by all the stuff around you and the decisions. And most of the decisions you make are subconscious.
Yeah.
And your thoughts and everything like that. So if you can put yourself in a positive environment where you're around positive people and you're having positive thoughts and positive influences, it is so key.
And it's the feelings it gives you. Like when you're like, even just things like when we're all together, we laugh, we have a joke, we get along. When you spend the day doing that, you go away feeling pumped, don't you?
Yeah.
You go away feeling happy. You go away feeling that was an awesome day. Like Crash Course.
Yeah.
People like saying about high fives. They don't like high fives, and they don't like.
When you go to a crash course,
you come away feeling I can do this.
You come away energized, refreshed. It's the environment. Yep. It's the environment, and the academy is the same. People are on the academy. They come to the events, do 2 events every month. They come to all the events, even if they've been to the same event before. People are coming back because they want to be in that environment, and they come away and they're like, "Yeah."
I know when I first joined the academy, that's why I was come to all the events.
Yeah, I remember you used to come to every single crash course.
I've been to every single crash course since I joined the academy.
You've been to more crash courses than me.
Yep. And do you know why I go? I go because you're around like-minded people. You're around people that want you to succeed.
Yeah.
And that, like, it's not. It doesn't become a competition. It doesn't be like. It's not like, oh, he's done this and I've done that. It's not like that. It's like, yeah, I've done that. How can I help you do the same?
Mm-hmm.
Or what can we do that gets you there? Do you know what I mean? So if you're struggling, you're with people that are going to help you.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. And
it's just the environment, mate. Plus, the environment is so important.
And I know, like, Sam was really strict upon, like, sort of any sort of downbeat negativity in the academy. We nip it in the bud quickly.
Friends, I hate negativity.
Yep.
I don't watch the news. People are like, you don't watch the news? Like,
no,
I don't. Because it's depressing.
It is depressing.
I don't want to be getting up in the morning and starting my day listening to a bomb. I don't know. When I go to church, they're like, "Oh, this has happened this week." I'm totally oblivious.
Yes.
Totally unaware.
That's the best way. I've not watched the news for years.
And right now, and again, it's thoughts, mindset. Right now, the world is the safest.
Yeah.
People are living the longest. People are having less diseases, less likely to get killed, it's the safest it has ever been in history. You wouldn't know it because all we talk about is the negativity.
Well, it's because negativity sells. How many times do you see a positive story on the BBC News at 6?
Never.
You never. It's always
hardly ever.
This person. It's all negativity rubbish. It's all bombings, freaking.
And it's just been
Brexit
drilled
crap,
into us.
yeah.
Negativity. And it's.
Why do you think they do that? Because they want. I think they do it because they want people to live a negative life. I do.
They want control.
They want control. They want people to be scared, realize that they can't achieve their dreams. I think it all goes into
it's about money, and like you say, negativity sells.
Yeah, negativity sells.
But it's not great. It's not great.
So, friends, that's good. What about number 4?
Number 4 is unlearn.
Yep.
So this is a bit of an unusual one because normally think of learning and unlearn. What do you mean by
Think
unlearn?
of it like a painting. So you've got a painting, all right, and somebody's already had a go at doing it. And they've messed it up badly.
Yeah.
You've then got to go over it and try and correct it. Whereas if you had a blank canvas, you could do a nice painting. Right. So the problem is a lot of people that are maybe a little bit older generally.
Well,
they've got habits, they've got beliefs of how things are done. Sometimes you have to brainwash them, i.e. wash their brain, and get rid of all that old clutter and get rid of the old ways of doing things. Like, for instance, I know a property investor. He's an accidental landlord. All his mortgages are through his high street bank, and it's like, mate, do you know there's so much more creative ways of doing it?
Yeah.
But he won't have it. He still goes to the Halifax to get his investment mortgage.
A lot of it is like the education system. The way that when the education system was set up, it was designed to, and especially in America, I remember. I'm trying to remember. I'll do this as accurate as I can, but don't quote me on any of this. But they were basically sort of saying that the education system is designed to keep they don't want to create successful people.
No, they don't.
They want to create workers to serve the rich.
Yep.
And all the education system is designed to create workers. It was designed like factories with the bells and all sorts of stuff. And so we want to teach them enough they'll be useful.
Yeah.
But we don't want them being anybody's. We don't want them being. We just want to control them, and we want to just get them through the mill. And that, it really pissed me off.
So why do you think? I agree with you.
But this was it wasn't like this was just in the back of their heads. This was typed up in their their objectives and stuff, and that was what the education system was based on.
I reckon that's why they have like a morning tea break. 10:15.
Yeah.
Then at lunchtime, 12 to 12:30. Then an afternoon tea break. That's like factories.
And they did. It is designed to be like that. And they did a test on children, right? So I think it was the test when the kids were age 4, and it was a creative test.
I've seen this.
You've seen this, yeah? To test how creative they were when they were 4, and 98% of them were genius level, right? They then did the same test when they were like 6 after a couple of years of schooling. It had dropped to like, I can't remember the percentages now, but like 50%. Then again, when they were 8, it's like 30%. And then by the time they were 12, it was like 5% or something. They're just drilling it, bang, 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 kicking it all out of you.
Yeah.
And as a parent, I've got like a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old. I'm like, do I want to be sending my kids through this through this system?
It's hard, isn't it?
But at the same time, like it is hard.
Yeah.
But that, me, you, everyone, we're all getting drummed in the same stuff all the way through.
Be a worker.
Yeah, be a worker.
That's what the schools are. It really is so frustrating that we do not teach our children basic money.
No.
Money management, financial literacy.
Yeah.
We don't teach them any of this sort of stuff.
All we teach them is how to be good rememberers.
Yep.
That's it. It's like fill in the blanks. Read this. Remember this. They don't learn to think.
Yeah.
It's all about. It's all it is. It's just fill in the blanks. Remember this. Remember that. Listen, English is really important. Maths. I'm not saying it's not.
I know what you mean.
It's really important, but we're not teaching them about being an entrepreneur. We're not teaching them about managing money. We're not teaching them life skills. Just do not get taught.
No.
And
also, there's a lot of like older sort of school investors and that they're set in their ways of how to finance things, and we just need to get that. If they want to get really creative about things, and what the systems, the media and that teaches us about everything, it's just a lot of it's wrong.
But even the system of when we finish studying at school, we stop learning. Like, what's that all about?
What is that all about?
Where? Since when?
It's amazing. It's like anything. It's amazing how many people will spend £30,000 to go to uni, but they won't spend a little bit of money on educating themselves properly on entrepreneurship and things like that. Or
time. It doesn't even have to be money.
No.
They won't
put time into
download books off Audible. They don't. Unless it's something that, I don't know. It
does baffle me. Completely baffle me. So you have to make sure you unlearn things, guys. If you want to be really successful.
all the crap that you've learned that's wrong, basically.
Yeah, the stuff that the government is sort of forcing upon you.
I would say the biggest thing by unlearn really means prepare to be coachable. Prepare to change. Don't be stuck in your ways. Don't be, and the older you get, the harder it gets.
Yeah, completely.
Because you're so used to doing it a certain way.
And the other thing is if you want to learn a new skill, learn it from somebody that's doing that skill. Like, if you want to learn to swim, you go and get somebody that's very good swimming.
Be humble.
Yeah, of course.
Be prepared to learn. Be prepared to change your views. Don't be stuck. Don't be thinking, well, that's how I've always done it. Just be open. Yeah. Be open-minded, which is one thing I think we are better at now. I think that the new generation coming through are very open-minded in many ways, which is good. Right, number 5. Become best friends with agents and Rightmove.
Yep. Can't say much more than that. Just make Rightmove your best friend.
So is Rightmove your best friend?
It's... Yeah, it's one off.
That is quite sad.
It is quite sad.
That is pretty sad.
I obviously, instead of looking at rubbish on the internet, look at Rightmove. If you're looking to get in property investing, you should be looking at houses constantly.
In the game.
You should be in the game. Keep yourself in the game. So once you've found your patch and you've got your area, you should be just keeping in touch with agents. Don't be that person that never calls them and then suddenly you pop up and you're moaning why they're not bringing you any deals. Just go in there. If you happen to be in the area, just go in and say hi. Have you got any deals this week, or what have you got? Have you got anything available? The more they see you, the more they know you, the more likely they're going to come to you and say, "Hey, Russell, I've got this fantastic deal. It's not on the market yet. Are you interested?" Because they know that you're serious.
Yeah.
Also, Rightmove. There's a lot of hidden gems on Rightmove. Understand how it works.
And I'm going to have to credit you. I think you're one of the best people I think of that does this.
With agents,
with everything, with keeping yourself.
Yeah.
I say with everything, not with all of them, but with this one. With keeping yourself, not really bad at the others. I'm digging myself a hole here.
I'll get you a ladder for that hole.
You're particularly good at this one, though. At keeping in with the agents. I mean, you know the agents in all the areas. You're like, oh yeah, this, and I know this, and they told me this, and they told me this, and oh hi, how's it going? And you're very good.
I've got a lot of them
at networking and keeping in with them.
They call me the networking ninja.
Yeah. Whereas I'm not as patient. I'm not
the networking numpty. I'm only kidding. No, sorry, man.
We do need to change seats, don't we? This is not fair.
I'm just kidding. It's imperative. In my book, there's a whole chapter about keeping yourself in the game.
Has he written a book?
I've written a book. There's a whole chapter about keeping yourself in the game.
Yeah.
With agents and all that sort of stuff. Whole chapter.
Yeah, it's good. It's true.
So that's good. So they're the 5 top tips for beginners looking to get into property. Hope that's helpful.
It's now time for this. Okay, so in the news this week, interesting article. I haven't got masses to report about it, but I just thought we'd share it. Basically, there's been talk of Facebook getting into property investing, as in not buying property in the UK, but having selling houses basically on Facebook.
But like in market, like they've got a marketplace, haven't they? For
yeah, but like so they're sort of equivalent of like Rightmove or Zoopla or whatever, which would be awesome.
I think it'd be phenomenal.
Yeah,
because everyone's on Facebook.
The talk is it going to like, damage like Rightmove and people like that? But
who cares?
Well, I'm sure the Rightmove directors do.
But then they need to move with the times, don't they?
Yeah.
Listen, if you're
it's good for the consumer, competition.
Good for the consumer, yeah.
But if Facebook got on that, it would be very, very interesting.
It'd be very interesting because you'll also probably get a lot of direct to vendor stuff on there.
Yeah.
Because then if they open it up so the vendors can put it directly on Facebook for sale and like a Facebook marketplace.
If they do,
then
then the agents will be not like it as well. It's going to be. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. But I just thought it could be. Watch the space.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be able to report more on it when obviously it comes to fruition, but that's going to be phenomenal, I think.
Very, very interesting. Right, so it's now time to answer your questions. So here we go. Are you ready for some questions?
Yeah, go on. Hit me.
What's up, guys? What's up, Liam? Would love you to talk a bit about social housing. You used to live in a social housing house, did you not?
Yeah, like 12 years ago.
So, what are your views on it?
I didn't. Okay, so we used the council right to buy scheme to buy my wife's council house. Yeah.
Okay.
So
cool. What do you think of social housing?
I don't think much about it, to be honest.
I haven't got masses to say about it.
I don't really know what to say about that.
I'm more in the private sector.
Yeah, I'm much more in the private sector. My only ever link with social housing was we bought our ex-council house. Made a killing on it.
And also, if you've got an opinion on repossession, we did talk about repossession, didn't we? We actually argued about it, didn't we?
I'm not sure if it was on camera though.
Oh, was it not?
I think we didn't. That never made the final cut.
Oh, okay.
Because I think you punched me.
Did I? Okay. Well, moving on then.
Move on.
Ironically, Richard's Arblaster has asked a question then, linked to me punching you, but not me. Has Samuel stopped beating up Alistair?
Yeah, I've recovered.
How did it feel?
It was funny. It was hilarious.
Is that the real reason why you don't want to live with him? He might jump on you in the middle of the night and start attacking you.
No. Samuel's cool.
Are you not going to comment?
No.
Why?
Just because.
I want to hear your comment now. I want to hear what you're thinking. What are you thinking?
I'll tell you off camera.
Tell me on camera.
No.
Tell me now.
It's not going to happen.
All right, Nick, turn the camera off. All right, camera's off. Go on.
No, it's not going to happen.
The camera is not. There's no red light or anything.
I can see it.
Well, see what?
The camera.
Of course you can see the camera. I'm not saying it disappeared. I'm saying it's off.
No, move on.
Okay. Last one.
Yeah.
So you have to make this a good one.
Go on in.
Okay. When would you advise for and against a limited company structure?
It's not good in, is it? We answer this question all the time. Look,
don't say that.
We're not.
Gerald Leach just put his heart and soul into that question.
Great question,
Thank you, Gerald. Great
question. It's a very good question, buddy. Listen, we're not here to give tax advice, so you really need to go and speak to your accountant about that. Personally, if it was me, I would be putting everything through a limited company. 2 reasons: tax benefits, and also you ring fence yourself, so you're not personally liable.
So what's the negative?
The negative is your accounts are public.
Bit harder to get,
and mortgages are a little bit harder to get, and you might pay a little bit more interest. But please, Gerald, honestly, go and speak to your accountant. Get a good property accountant who will advise you.
Explain your situation.
Once you've disclosed your situation, because we don't know your situation. You might have £500,000 in the bank, or you might have 100 million in the bank. We don't know. So everyone's situation is different when it comes to accountancy advice. So,
but would you say rule of thumb?
Rule of thumb, I would say limited company all the way.
I agree.
But that's not official accountancy advice. Go and see your own accountant. But
so hold on, you're not an official accountant.
No, I'm not an official accountant. I can recommend a few, but no, not an official accountant.
There you go. He's not. You heard it here first.
Was that the last question?
I wonder like a grand total on that bombshell.
on that bombshell, yeah.
And on that massive disappointment.
Yeah.
It is time to end. Guys, thanks ever so much for watching. If you don't want to watch us on YouTube, you can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts. You want to just listen in while you're driving home from work on a Monday, you want to just listen in, feel free to do that. And we will see you next week.
See you later, guys.